Hey everybody, welcome back to Dark Souls 2. Um, I had a little bit of problems with my recording. Don't know what happened, some Microsoft update I guess changed my audio settings so it wasn't recording any sound, but um, not too much was missed. I will show off what I did in the last recording. I didn't get very far. We're doing the Crown of the Iron King today. I don't know if I'll get through the whole thing, but I will get through as much as I can. We've had these lizards here since the very beginning of the game, and we could have come here whenever we wanted. But as you can see, they got a lot of hit points. So they're not really a great idea to go fight at a super low level. Especially since there's nothing exceptional to get down there where they are. There's stuff that you can pick up, but nothing really important. We'll go ahead and take off all of our gear again. And with the cat ring on, we will just drop right here. Now, I have already picked up all the items in here, unfortunately. But I didn't get anything from the DLC, so that's fine. There's only a handful of items down here, soul and a fire drake stone. We picked up the hawk ring is found here. Nothing too crazy. Hawk ring will increase the range of your bow. I think it only works for bows. I don't think it works for magic, but magic doesn't have any... But the big thing about the hawk ring is that the further your arrows fly, the more their damage lowers. So the further away, the less damage they deal. And with the hawk ring, that distance is increased, as well as the drop, so the arrows fly straighter for a longer duration. We got this lizard here as well. Going to aggro this one to come over here. I don't want to go all the way in because... Ouch. I don't want to aggro the other lizard as well. I didn't realize that had a follow-up. These guys have some pretty janky hitboxes. I talked briefly about it in the recording that got scrapped, but Dark Souls 1 and 2 both have some pretty bad hitboxes. But due to Dark Souls 2's pretty low budget, especially compared to like Dark Souls 3, when the main team was working on Bloodborne, the B team at FromSoft was working on this. So the hitboxes are pretty janky in both 1 and 2, but the animations for a lot of enemies are pretty bad in this as well. So you can see there's no wind-up on like that dash. And there's weird after hitboxes on that belly flop. There's some pretty poorly designed enemies with some attacks that are basically impossible to react to. And this is one of the enemies that's not very well done in that regard. So there's another item here, and what we're really here for spawns right over here, which is the key to the DLC. Can show this off real quick. It is the heavy iron key. So that is what we came down here to get. I'm going to briefly run to Castle Drain Lake again, so I can buy a few more lightning arrows from Welliger. There's a couple sections in the DLC where I will want to use ranged attacks. Not a ton, but a few. The big thing is that, especially in Scholar, there's a few spots where, with enemy placement, that's just very unfair. And using a... That's not what I wanted to do. Using a ranged attack helps with that a lot. To lure off enemies, to make fights a little more even. It likes to... This DLC especially likes to dump, like, 5 enemies on you at a time in some areas, if not more. So it can get pretty egregious at times, unfortunately. Of the 3 DLCs, this is my least favorite. Not to say that it's a bad DLC. I especially like the boss fights, 2 of them anyways. I think they are some of the best bosses, not only in this game, but in the series. I like them quite a lot. They're very fun fights. They're not too challenging, but they are still quite difficult. I wouldn't... Some people seem to think that especially Fume Knight is quite a difficult boss, and although he's not super easy, I think people overrate how difficult he is a lot of the time. He's a very fun fight, and we should at least get to that fight today. And with any luck, we will get the other boss in this video as well. Like the first DLC, there is an optional side area with a 3rd optional boss. All of the DLCs have one. None of those optional bosses are very good. And this is no exception. But we'll see that when we get to it. We'll see how long the rest of the DLC takes me to get through. There's quite a lot in this DLC. Normally this elevator would be down, but I took it up, and on my way up is when I realized my sounds were not on. Here we are. This would normally have popped up on our screen saying Broom Tower. Got a couple bodies here. We got this, like, ashen effigy, which gives us Smelter Wedge times 6. From this chain, we can actually see down below. I'm pretty sure if you wanted to, you can, if you're wearing the cat ring, you can even drop down from here. But we are going to grab the bonfire instead. We are still playing online. Got some random players. Gonna make sure I put on the Chloranthy. And we're gonna come up here. So, this is an interesting thing. We can use smelter wedges on these, and that will destroy them. And give us Soul of Nadalia, Bride of Ash. There are multiples of these all over this DLC. those effigies can do all sorts of things. That one casted a chaos firestorm, but there's all sorts of things that they can cast, so they can buff the enemies around you, can do a whole lot of stuff. So you want to use them. There are some that heal as well. We have the Dexterity Ring. Very nice. There's a handful of these rings like this in the DLC for stats. Drop off here. That pathway leads up. Now, there's a lot of stuff around here. A lot of these platforms and stuff on chains. It's all very static for now, but we'll come back here to explore a lot more of this a little later. We have some stuff to do first. You can see that goes all the way down. Now, I'm not sure that I will find all of the secrets for the DLC, because there's quite a few. Like the first DLC, we are two-shotting the enemies, which is very nice. I don't think you have to, but a lot of these ashen things, yeah, they can have items hiding in them. You can hear that whispering, and that indicates one of the effigies, like you can see down there. That one is doing a healing effect of some kind. So these guys aren't too bad, but they are pretty heavily resistant to magic damage, fire especially, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah. We'll keep moving along here. Making our way down here precariously. Can drop down here, but we can also grab an item here. Just making sure there wasn't another one. Can see another new enemy type there. Now, we can choose to drop down, or we can come in here and loot first. Titanite slab. That goes all the way down. You can see the room below. But instead of going down that ladder, I can actually drop off here instead. And we can drop down here again. We can also, if we wanted to, use some ranged attacks on some of these guys. It's been a while since I've done this DLC, and I've only done it a handful of times on Scholar. So I'll have to re-familiarize myself with it. Let's go ahead and Sacred Oath, because we're going to have a handful of enemies to fight here all at once. That sucks. I don't know how that happened. I thought I would have killed him, but it was just not enough damage. And then he managed to stun lock us off of there. Now we can make it back there pretty quick. Charcoal pine resin. If you're doing a physical build, then the pine resins are quite useful. But only if you're doing a physical build, really. Want to come take these guys out, because this guy will, I believe, shoot at us from up here, if I'm not mistaken. We'll go ahead and do it this way. So as you can see, this one sprays ash and makes them take reduced damage. So if you were to just drop down here, then that would be pretty bad. As you'd get jumped by 4 of them with that buff, so... Taking that slow pathway there is definitely the way to go. Dance of Fire is a very fun pyromancy. Fortunately, a lot of the interesting, fun pyromancies tend not to be the best consistent damage. The cool thing I find with them is that the fun ones tend to be really good for PvP, as they're good for catching people off guard. They tend to have wacky, different hitboxes. Have a very obvious hidden wall there. Thought that one was the key. Okay. Life gems and spell usage renewal. Always good to have. So these guys are interesting, and this is your introduction to them. They'll run away from you, They always run away from you. Okay, no, we do have to go down this way first. This DLC has a lot of optional splitting and hidden paths and stuff. 158. Oh, that's way more. Yeah, lightning arrows are the way to go. As if they back away, they'll explode. So there's a handful of puzzles in this DLC that are just about those guys. Not too many, thankfully, but there's a couple, and they're cool for what they are, I think. So what I did there was I wanted to get close to here to bait an attack out from him, and then fight this one so that he didn't follow and have to fight both. Ooh, careful. I think this is just a cestus. Yeah. Although this isn't my favorite of the DLCs, it is one that I have played a lot of. And there's a bonfire, as well as a fog wall over there. Second bonfire of the DLC. Does not open from this side. So we'll have to come back through here. And open up that shortcut. Now, this DLC actually only has one mandatory boss. Unlike the last one, which had two. And the next one, which has two. So, as you can see, we could drop down here. But other than that, we can't make that drop down. We can't make this jump across because this is in the way. So we only have one way to go, which is through here. Now we can roll through this to get us wet, which we have seen before. And that room down there sucks. We don't want to take this ladder down, I'm pretty sure. I think we would rather drop down over here first. I can't exactly remember, so I could be wrong here, but yeah, I do. I don't think you can make that jump. Yeah. Guess I have to go from the other side. I am pretty sure you can shoot through this. You can't. Oh, no, it's here. Oop. There we go. So, now that those are broken, we can do this. But we have to be careful here, not to fall down. Come on. Come on. Yeah. And boom. Now we're going to do another little trick here. Something we haven't used at all in this playthrough. Which we have picked up, but just been holding on to. Too far? That work? Come on. What's the best way to do this? Maybe I can, like, aim it through here? It's still going too far. Okay. Ouch. Yeah. So I was trying to use the alluring skulls to draw them over. Didn't work very well. I know it can work, I just wasn't aiming them well. Maybe I have to throw them from the other thing. So. And now, with any luck, he will move over to this guy. Come on. I'll go ahead and use this. I wasn't able to... Maybe I can squeeze it one through here. Pretty sure you can, like, throw bombs over this to him, right? Trying to remember the ways to cheese this room, because this is one of, like, the most annoying rooms. That's too far. You can't shoot him with your bow here. They made it so there's no way. I'm gonna have to charge him, but there's two guys here. So much damage. Ugh. This room sucks, by the way. There's a few ways you can handle it, but cheesing it is usually my favorite way, if I can manage it. It's looking like I'm gonna have to do it the hard way. That's not what I like to see. So this is going to be a suicide run to place the smelter wedge in the effigy for Nadalia. Or an attempt to. Couldn't get it in time, of course. Getting that done is important, because the reduced damage they take is going to be ridiculous. I skipped one of the enemies, though. I forgot to shoot him. Let's knock you down there. No. Get that down. There you go. I was gonna go for the suicide run there because I had knocked this guy down. Let's just go for it, I guess. Okay. I was able to get the gate open. That's good. See what I mean about janky hitboxes and animations? Very annoying room. Quite difficult. A lot of enemies in a really awkward position. But that's how you handle it. That's how I handle it anyways. Okay, we're gonna have another new enemy right here. There they are. There. Goal is to knock that one off, not necessarily kill it. Although I suppose we can just take it out now. They have very high lightning resistance. Does this one drop you off? Or is that a bait? You can make that jump, right? It's been so long. I think you can. Let's find out. Yeah. What you saw there was a crit. That was why it did almost his whole hit points in one hit. That comes from the engraved gauntlets. That is the advantage to this thing. Now, out here, one of the big guys is actually going to come up, I'm pretty sure. If I remember correctly. I used to think all of this was snow for some reason when I was younger. It's not, it's ash. But for whatever reason... Okay, it's not this one, it's a different one. I knew there was item here somewhere. Not hidden that well. We'll come back to that in a little bit. We're not going to go there just yet. We're going to go unlock the shortcut first. We have a locked door. We have a bonfire. See, this goes all the way down there. I'm gonna double check around here for items. I can't remember if there are any. Don't believe so. Oh, it's right here. Spell quartz. Not bad. Quite useful for the Ivory King. Let's go do the other tower first, actually. Get that out of the way. Okay, they are gonna come. So we have another chain we can walk on here. And we're going to get an NPC Invader. And he's a very annoying NPC Invader. Who, if at all possible, I want to kill before he can get away. Because if you let him, he will run. Yeah. I could have probably cut him off here, but... So, what makes this area so annoying is that once we start entering the darkness here... Ow. It's actually going to start cursing us. Really? Ideally, I'd like to knock these guys back, but they keep moving in weird ways. Knocking them off is the most effective way. I'd much rather play this safe and slow. As you can see, it's going to slowly curse us. I forgot that he would heal here. So what I can do is use a Seed of a Tree of Giant, and the enemies will kill him for me. I thought I could just one-tap him. I forgot that he would heal. We're going to see Maldrin a lot. Mostly because we're going to die to him a whole lot, but... we will try killing him again, and then... I actually forgot that we had the Seed of a Tree of Giants that we do have. And although that works for player invaders, it also works for NPC invaders, I believe. I'm pretty sure it works that way. Oh. Okay. So I will try and kill him faster here. If I can. Now, I believe that does indeed work, but we'll have to see. Yep. Ta-da! So, if you're having troubles, you can do that. Ooh. Just about walked off the edge there. That's fine. That's fine. I got the effigy destroyed, so that's all that matters. Maldrin died and the effigy is destroyed, so now it's a lot easier to go there. Destroying the effigy is going to stop giving them or stop them from having the ash armor buff that they have. So they'll die much faster now. So, as you can see, it also gets rid of the cursing effects. Thankfully. Now, this enemy already is tough enough as is, so with the Ash buff, they're pretty ridiculous, honestly. Ooh. That was scary. Now, we've used quite a lot of those smelter wedges already. Are they in key items? Or are they here? We have 2 smelter wedges left. Now, there are enough smelter wedges to do all of the effigies. In fact, it's needed. He got a crit on me. I was hoping I would have super armor during that backstab. So if you couldn't tell, one of the main reasons I dislike this DLC is its difficulty. Although Ivory is arguably more difficult and has more annoying enemies than this one. I'm just gonna ignore those guys. I'll be teleporting back with the feather, so. I don't know. This one, its Scholar especially is a big problem. Scholar has this issue of throwing so many enemies at you that it's just ridiculous. That was its idea of difficulty. Because the vanilla game had it, but it wasn't as bad. Okay. Definitely should have died there. So, the whole reason we came down here is... Well, I mean, we came for the Soul of Nadalia, but... the Majestic Greatsword. Which, I mean, we're not going to use it, obviously, but I can show it real quick. It, is Artorias's Greatsword. And we can't use the specials because we don't have the stats for it, but if you have the stats for it, you do the flip. And it's quite cool. It was very cool that they added it to this, excuse me, to this game. all the DLCs have some pretty mechanically interesting weapons, and that's one of the big ones from this DLC. I'm not too worried about souls, so I'm just going to put on the Flame Quartz Ring. So, that's how this DLC works. We have these puzzles. We have this center room with all of these guys around, which we'll use them to open up a couple secrets. You can see there's a handful of walls around here that have I don't know why I didn't rest at the bonfire to get Estus back. There's a bunch of these walls with cracks in them, and we can open these up. Like so. And you can use fire bombs or whatever. I just think fire arrows are the easiest way. Petrified Dragon Bone. Nothing too crazy. Yeah, that ain't gonna work on you. And the other one was already opened for us. Ouch. Ugh. And I opened this up just so that we can run straight through instead of having to go through all of that nonsense. Since if we sneak past this guy, we can get out here, and he won't be able to follow us. So, just for running through in the future, basically. Now, this should be a shortcut back here, isn't it? Or am I going crazy? Yes. And since we only have 4 Estes left, we should go sit at that bonfire. And see, even with how much I've died in this playthrough, which for most of the game wasn't very much, but I still have 50 human effigies, more than enough. The whole reduction of HP and it being limited to human effigies was always a big thing when this game came out. I know a lot of people complained about it, but I never understood that. I always had more human effigies than I knew what to do with. That is the one where the big guy is that I was confusing it with. Here we have an interesting tower. So, what I'm going to be doing is using fire arrows. When you hit one of these guys with fire, they are supposed to explode. Ouch. Now that I'm remembering, this is actually another one of those areas where alluring skulls is useful, and I used all of mine in the other room. Or most of, if not all. Sneaky, sneaky. Nothing really to actually get here, but we had, what was her name? Quicksword Rowena pop up? Quicksword Rachel. Now, as you can see, there's quite a few doors here, as well as a pit that would be our death. And last door. Okay, that's it. It's the leftmost one that has the ladder going down. Uh-huh. So, did I end up using all of my alluring skulls? I have 2. Good enough. Scorching Iron Scepter. Okay. A little hectic, but we're fine. So, that Scorching Iron Scepter is what we came here for. And here we are. So I will just go ahead and use the Aged Feather. Which I could have used as soon as I grabbed the Scorching Iron Scepter. And this room here is where we actually put that to use. As you can see, none of this stuff is moving. However, when we put the Scorching Iron Scepter in, it turns everything on, and suddenly, everything is moving. So, what we're going to do is actually go to the very start. And we are going to work our way down. Right now, we could go fight the boss and get the crown and get out. However, that would be quite difficult. So I want to go get some other stuff first. Baneful Bird Ring. Why do I not remember that ring? Ah, that's the ring. Okay. We have Flynn's ring, Jorg's ring, Dexterity Ring. All the DLC rings come at the end of your inventory at the after all of the Covenant rings. Let's go ahead and put on, where is it? Silver Serpent for now. So now that all this stuff is moving, it gives us a lot more options for exploring this area, which we couldn't do before. And I think you can work your way back up, but I prefer to start at the top and work my way down, so I don't mind killing these enemies again. Ouch. We are looking to get right there. So we have to take that elevator from all the way down there. These guys don't have their debuff anymore. Guess I could have gone from the second bonfire for this. I didn't even think. There was that one item, though, that I wanted to get. The ring. It's an okay PvE ring. In Dark Souls 2, blocking in PvP is a very, very bad idea. With the way that guard breaking works, it's just too risky. So, this will still be locked. Normal door. But this is all moving now. There be our bonfire. Simpleton's Ring. Worth it. We could have put on the quartz ring or rolled through some of the water jugs by the second bonfire. But I wanted to be greedy. I thought there were... Why did I think there were water jugs here? I don't know. Let's quickly go back to Majula and spend some of these souls. We got a whole lot of them.
Thank you.
Do I have enough for a level? Should have enough for one. Almost two, actually. Got a couple consumable souls, might as well use them. I want to get my vitality up, if you don't remember, so that I can wear the Drake Blood armor without fat rolling. We can see real quick here. It's up to 62. 63. 67. There we go. So, this is going to be our outfit for the foreseeable future. Should help our survivability quite a lot. We can see that. We'll get to that. I hear a big boy walking around here. Okay. I wonder what's behind here. So, as you guys can see, I'm now down to a single smelter wedge remaining, which is not great. But that is why we are doing some exploring before we go fight the final boss. Life ring +3, which actually gives you a pretty significant amount of life, to be honest. 10 Titanite shards, petrified something, broadsword +7. Pilgrim's Spittoon. Oh yeah. Right, you come here and throw the things down to get them over. That's what I was doing wrong. It's been a hot minute. Need to get over there. Pretend that one didn't happen. Okay, guys. Let's just pretend that didn't happen. Not here. That one. We're gonna miss it. There's a couple different things we can land on through this platform. Suppose there's this one that I forgot about as well. This is the one that goes up to... Yeah. Oh, locked. Where do we get the key for that? Is that down in the other area? I think that's right. Because this is the one that goes up to the one of the optional bosses. Okay, as long as I got one over there, I'm good. Maybe it's on this floor. forget exactly. Right here. Okay. I'm gonna need you. Let's come with me. Nope. Come on. Yeah, there you go. Mm-hmm. That way. Dispelling ring. I wonder if we can get lucky and get a possessed armor great bow to drop. I have no intentions of using it, but it would be cool as it's a pretty rare drop to get. That drops back down over to there. And is this the key here? Oh no, it's more smelter wedges. Good, good. The key is down. I don't know what the area looks like. It has like a long bridge. I remember it. Gotta wait for this thing. I know there's a hidden wall along this elevator as well. Yeah. Yeah, we can drop down here. And that pops us off right here. Okay, there's one more elevator I have to go up now. And that should take me to an area with a long hallway and the key for the door that takes me to the optional boss. Although the key for the optional boss is down one of these things lower. Forget which one it is exactly. Have to make that jump though. Guess I should grab my souls as well. And because it may make a difference, I'm going to jump off as I'm coming up as opposed to when I'm going down. There we go. Well, two bright bugs. And I think that is everything in this upper section. You know what? To play it safe, I'll just do this. I think that's everything in this upper section. Until we get the key and we can go up to the other boss room. So that just leaves going down, which is through this one. Well, there's another one over there as well. I think this might be the one that takes us where we want to go. Oh no, it is the first one. 'Cause we don't want to go all the way down to the bottom. Although, I've waited here, so I suppose I can just, Oh, we do have to pick it up down there, and it does. I thought it came all the way up here. It doesn't. We're gonna have to go all the way down to the bottom anyways. We don't have to keep for this yet, do we? Yeah. There's a bonfire down there, so that'll save us some time. Yep, another locked door. This one keeps going down further. Ow. So when that smoky effect happens, that's the engraved gauntlets, by the way. This is the key right here. Tower key. So the tower key is what we needed for the other door as well, but we'll go back up there in a little bit. We're already halfway through here, so we might as well head all the way down and go get the bonfire. That bridge is where we want to go. Okay, making sure there's no items over there. And we have the iron passage. We'll come back for this a little later, but this is another pathway to a boss. Let's, yeah, the foyer is the fastest. So, that'll be a pathway to a different boss. Ah, shit. Well, we'll wait for it. I'll go back up and get all the bonfires. And see, we were invaded by the Mad Prowlers. There we go. The one-way warmth effect is annoying, but... There we go. We are going to use a smelter wedge here. I say that because now we only have... Oh, we have 4. We do have enough already then. Okay. I thought we had 1 less than that for some reason. I'd like to aggro these guys one at a time if I can. Not gonna happen. Honestly, this isn't a bad place to use a bright bug if you wanted. Mad Warrior Mask. Nice. Not my favorite or anything, but... They can also drop their katana, which is a pretty good weapon. So, let's... You know what? I'm not going to do any bosses in this video, but I am going to get all of the bonfires and be at all 3 of the bosses. And then in the next episode, I will do all of the bosses. Since we're getting pretty close. Ah, you can see there's an upper passage as well, right? So we'll take the upper one. Which gets us the strength ring. And this, of course, goes straight down this way. Forget where... where the drop-off to that other thing is. As you can see, this one will drop through. We are not going to land there, as it would drop us through there and then through there as well. And through there as well. Basically, it causes a big chain reaction of falling, so try not to do that. I have no shame. We are hoping to see that crit ash explosion many times against these upcoming bosses. Another possessed armor. And see, we did not get souls for killing that possessed armor. You see bloodstains, you always check for Mimic, just to be sure. Sorcery Clutch Ring. So yes, those guys are immortal. You can't actually kill them. But we're not worried about that now. And boss room. However, we're not going to go there yet. We're going to go this way. I think. Oh wow, I didn't even know that had a follow-up. We're going to use a smelter wedge. So if you don't have 4 smelter wedges when you come down here, then You see him? No. You can see into the boss room, but you can't see the boss. We'll have another one of these guys. Let's do this. Just so this guy's not gonna heal on us like the last one. So we'll light the bonfire, and before we end the video, I will go and finish off the last two smelter wedge pieces. I think there's another item I can pick up over here as well. So all of these Souls of Nadalia, they are actually just pieces. You have to collect all of the pieces through this DLC in order to combine it together for the full thing of the Soul of Nadalia. Yeah. Soul of a Brave Warrior. So, I think that's going to do it for this episode. In the next one, we're going to finish off this DLC. Might be a little bit of a shorter one, but with how annoying some of these bosses and the areas up to them can be, it might be a little longer than I think, but I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, leave a like and consider subscribing. I'll see you all in the next one.